Hi, hello everyone from sunny Sydney and welcome to my very first live stream here on YouTube. So let me know in the comments where you're from and ask any questions as we go through the biggest dating and relationships mistakes you may be making. This is the best way to open up to finding your dream guy, to work out what you've been doing wrong first and then know how to do it better from here on in. So after all, life is way too short to be spending it on a lot of drama and with the wrong guys. We want to be happy and drama-free, right? You may be watching today because you're not having much success out there meeting guys, and maybe when you do, they fizzle out quickly. Or have you been getting into relationships with the wrong guys? Maybe you're in a relationship or you're married and you want to keep it healthy. Tell me why you're here in the comments. So I'm in the business of helping women by giving them an action plan that actually works for meeting an incredible guy and having an amazing relationship. All of my clients who have done my courses have had life-changing results. So since I began coaching women in 2015, I've seen so many of them going from being in really difficult places in their lives to actually being married. So I've seen them through the whole journey. Sometimes picking them up and dusting them off after a relationship disaster that they never want to have happen again. So I take them each and every step right to marriage. And I show them a lot about how to go about meeting men. And there is an abundance of single men out there. We just need to get you out there. So I've taken everything I've been teaching these women over the last few years and combined the best of it into a program I'm launching called Fast Track to Your Dream Guy. The first round starts in a few days and I won't be doing it again until later on in the year. So I've given you the link below, hopefully, so you can see where to go for more information. But it's basically my website, lyndalove.net /fast-track. So I've not done the live stream before and I'm hoping this is all going well. And I'm going to try and look for your comments in a minute. Hopefully I can find them. So as soon as I've found where they are, I will respond to your comments. All right, so this stuff leads to beautiful marriages. I'm not about simply marrying you off. I'm about something beautiful, healthy, functional, not dysfunctional, and lifelong. I've used all of these skills myself, and I married an incredible man as a result of it. And I continue to use specific skills in keeping my own marriage healthy. I don't believe in telling people to do anything I haven't done myself. I've lived this and I'm proof that it works. And it gives me the passion to help other women achieve the same thing. So today I want to get into the biggest mistakes I see women making in dating and relationships. Now I'm just looking on my iPad here because hopefully I'll be able to see any comments come up there. Okay, so let's get into mistake number one. This is the biggest and most important mistake not to make, but so many of us do it because it's just a nature of the way the world is at the moment. So this is it. You spoke to him first or you asked him out. So basically what I'm saying is you were the pursuer. Now, I learned this lesson from Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider in their rules books. And if you haven't read the rules yet, you should get your hands on a copy. I was single myself a few years ago when I picked up my first rules book. And it was that moment that I read those words that I realized that the best relationships that I've ever had were always as a result of the guy approaching me and asking me out and basically taking control of the relationship. So he asks you out and then I have a position of total power by agreeing or rejecting, for want of a better term. I don't like to say rejecting guys, but ultimately that's what you're doing. So the times I didn't do that, the times when I approached guys first or maybe asked them for a harmless coffee because I thought they were cute or I showed up to their gigs, it never went well. It was a complete game changer to understand this information. So I was able to reflect on my own life and see this concept in action myself. And I also remembered when I was really young, there were boys who liked me at school and they'd pull my ponytail or chase me in the playground. They were the ones I paid no attention to, and they barely didn't exist for me. So they just didn't let up in the sweetest possible way. See, if you're his type, he will notice you. It's like this radar they have for the moment you enter the room. They know you're there. You don't have to do anything to say, oh, well, I might just sneakily walk by here and hope that he'll see me. He will have seen you. Believe me, if you're his type, he will see you. He's not going to miss you. And the thought of missing their chance to come up and talk to you and ask you out is too terrible. They're not going to let that chance pass them by. So all this talk about, oh, maybe he's shy and all of that, well, you don't want that guy anyway. You want the guy that will fight for you and not let you get away that easily. See, these are the firm foundations for longevity, something healthy and enduring. This is what we really want. I'm just seeing if I'm seeing a few likes. Thank you. Keep liking this video. This is fantastic. Thank you. Now, I want to again bring your attention to Fast Track for Your Dream Guy. So I take you step by step in every detail on how to date guys when you're not making the first move ever. It's a program that will literally stop you wasting time on guys that aren't that interested or guys that are going to break your heart, which is a very slow lane. So life is too short for that. And girls are getting married because they've done this program. Those who aren't married yet are getting 2, sometimes 3, some are even getting 5 or 6 dates a week. So don't forget to check the link below to join up to the program and get out of your rut and on the fast track to your dream guy. Like I said, it starts in just a few days' time. So what's the second mistake? So remember, the first mistake was you kind of being the pursuer, asking him out, setting up dates. Now, when you do that, you're usually finding that you're feeling mixed signals from him. Now, the second one is, so you're not getting mixed signals, everything's going great, he's like your dream guy. Here's the mistake, you're jumping in straight into the deep end with this guy you've only just met. So you felt this connection and you almost lose all common sense. And you're seeing each other as often as you can and you're caught up in the euphoria of infatuation. This is true even once you've been seeing a guy for several months. Don't act like a married couple. It actually gets boring for him, and it's very rare for him to take the relationship to the next level and commit to you. I've been teaching women how to do this for over 2 years now, and each of them have completely turned their lives around. I mean, these are beautiful, smart women who were constantly in relationship turmoil. It affects your life when you have a tumultuous dating life. Often these women, their work slips. I know this has been the case for me in the past. I never teach women how to do things that I haven't lived myself. And I've been there. I've been in that situation where your work slips because you're devastated from a broken relationship and you're not feeling on top of life. And it's just a constant emotional struggle as you're getting over yet another guy. Once these women start working with me, it never happens to them again. And they feel in control of their lives. So even if you don't meet your dream guy right away, your life is actually totally drama-free and it's absolutely liberating. So my next program starts on the 15th of April. It won't be happening again until October. Probably I'll get back to it. But I'd love to help you achieve this too. So what's the next mistake? Mistake number 3. You're having sex too soon. So, okay, of course men want to have sex with you. It doesn't make him a bad guy. But it's up to you to not get into a sexual relationship with him until you've taken the time to get to know each other on dates. So many women are meeting guys and then they're going straight to sitting on the sofa and watching Netflix. every time they see him, and then having sex with the guy, and they're not even going out on real dates. And I mean dinner dates. So often girls may even wait a few weeks and they think that's enough time to wait to have sex because he's been really nice to them, and he may have mentioned girlfriend, he may have mentioned exclusivity, he may have even hinted at getting married and having children one day. Don't fall for it. They can say anything, anything under the sun. We want to see their actions over a long period of time. So just hold out. I often get calls from women who get their, oh, I see a future with you, or even just talking about being a girlfriend kind of conversation fairly early on. And then they think it's safe to have sex with them. And then they find that, I don't know, something's just not right anymore. They're backpedaling. He doesn't feel invested in the relationship. And it's so upsetting for me to hear the pain these women are going through, because I've actually been there myself. I know how this feels. So I just say to them, you know, let's just call it quits here. And I mean, I'll talk to them more about the relationship, but next time, just try to take care of yourself first. It's all about self-protection, number one. We don't go around suspecting that all men are just going to try and take advantage of us either. That's not what it's about. Think of it this way. If a guy wants to have sex and you give it to him early on, his chase is over. Where's the chase? The best way to find out if he sees you as more than a conquest is to wait. At least 3 months. I know some girls wait longer. Depends on how the relationship's going, but a minimum of 3 months is good. I know a lot of girls think that's really over the top, especially in this day and age where having sex on the first date is pretty normal. It's considered pretty the usual way to operate. But actually, you're lining yourself up for a lot of pain when he doesn't call you the next day, or you just feel that he's not as interested in you as you'd hoped. So hear me out on the 3 months thing. It's not that crazy, really. Okay. So this brings me to the next mistake. Oh, thank you, Greta. Greta's noticed my manicure. Thank you. It's SNS. I highly recommend SNS. It was a life changer, game changer for me. Lasts about 4 weeks with no chipping. Okay, mistake number 4. You're not having real dates. We need courtship to make a big comeback. And this is what I teach women how to do as well. I teach them how to date. It's such a lost art form. So it's about how to allow men to set a dinner date and be courted like a lady. If he likes you enough, it will be his pleasure to do this without an expectation of sex afterwards. And even if he does want sex, it doesn't make him a bad guy, but you don't have to go ahead and do that. But let me assure you that if he does it expecting sex, he will disappear after a few dates when you don't offer it up. And here's where it gets crazy. So many women think they need to have sex to keep him around. You need to take a few steps back and think about what you're saying to yourself. If he's only staying around for sex, well, he's not going to be around long term anyway, because a serious relationship isn't what he's looking for in the first place. He's going to disappear anyway once he sees that you are not looking for just a bit of fun, or you'll dump him because you're tired of his lazy attitude and his lazy behavior. So if you think you're in a relationship with a guy and you're not dating, I mean, if he's not taking you out to dinner or to special nights out, like the movies or a theatre or a live band with dinner, and paying, then you're not setting the foundations for something really beautiful. A man that's in love wants to do these things. He wants to please you. I know that sounds crazy and hard to believe, but it's true. He wants to show you that he can provide for you, and he wants to win you over. So in my fast track program, I go into detail about how to date well. It really is a case of A, knowing the skills, and B, practice, practice, practice. I mean, all the girls I work with will tell you that practice makes perfect, and they're not perfect after 1-2 weeks. It takes months to get it really right. And even then, you can always be looking at yourself and thinking of ways to improve. But the more you can master it, the higher the quality of the man that you're going to end up with. The guys my clients are marrying are well beyond anything they've ever dated before, or any kind of guy they've dated before. It's usually exceeded their expectations of who they thought they could end up with. So join my program. The link's below. Fast Track to Your Dream Guy starts soon. So what's the next mistake? This is telling him what to do. So this is mistake 5. Don't tell your guy what to do. Not when you're dating, not in the very beginning, not when you're engaged, not even when you're married. There's no need. And why is that? It's very simple. Because you remind him of his mother, and it absolutely kills his desire for you. No guy wants to be told what to do. And also, when you're dating someone, it's best to let him take the lead and plan everything so you can see what you're ending up with if you do continue to see this guy. You can't change him. You've got to take him as he is or walk away. So let him go ahead and plan everything and see how you feel about it. Is this the kind of guy you could be with long term? If not, well, he's probably not the one. You certainly cannot make him be something other than the man he's showing you now. So, and also don't try not to criticize him too much for not being the guy for you. He's going to be right for someone else. You know, your dream guy only comes along once, maybe twice in a lifetime. So if he's not the one, you know, wish him well and hope that he finds the right one and you move on. You clear the way for your own guy to come along. So some girls say, well, how is he supposed to know what I like if I don't suggest dates? It's kind of a good point, but what you find is guys will often try to appease you early on, but they will also end up going back to, they always, every time, end up going back to what they want to do. So let's go into mistake 6. All right. The next one is when you really like the guy. Okay, so we're several dates in, we've been seeing him for maybe a month or 2. Here's the error. You're obsessing about him to the point of anxiety. Now I laugh because I've been there. I've done this myself. This is a girl thing. We tend to be very concerned about whether he's calling you enough or texting you enough, and you're constantly anxious about everything. He's on your mind 24/7. You have to let it go. This anxiety, you can't dump it on him in particular. I mean, it's bad enough to be feeling it yourself and dumping it on your girlfriends, but definitely don't be dumping it on him. You have to try to think about striving to be a better person within yourself. Nobody wants to go through life being a nervous wreck and highly strung. And I know this is easy for me to say, and I know it's very hard to do, but an amazing man is not going to hang around very long if you're behaving like a crazy, highly strung bundle of nerves. A great guy wants a calm, confident girl who's happy to go with the flow. So don't confuse this with being a doormat either. It's the exact opposite. It's using your emotional intelligence to determine if this guy is right for you by being calm, controlled, and smart. So you might even be getting overexcited and anxious about a guy that he may not be the right one for you anyway. So just stay calm. The more calm you are and controlled, the more clarity you can see with. Observe his behavior and try and enjoy your dates. Just show gratitude for the efforts he goes to, and then walk away if you're not feeling like he's what you want in a man. So as women, we are by nature very emotional creatures. Men are not. And it makes them very uncomfortable to have an emotional, highly strung girl around them. And to be honest, the really high quality guys will just walk away because they don't want the constant drama. They don't need it. I have girls say to me, this is one I see a lot, and I think there's a lot of memes you might see around the place on this too, that if it goes something like this, if he can't take me at my worst, then he doesn't deserve me at my best, or something like that. Well, I say that don't you expect the best behavior of your guy at all times? Don't you want him to strive to be a better man? So, lead by example. If you strive to be the best person you can be, then you inspire more of that from him. And it's a very positive, healthy cycle, and so much better than drama after drama. Again, life is way too short for drama. I've taken that all out of my life now. Something I say all the time is, if there's drama in dating, there's something wrong. So this is the biggest challenge for all women. And again, it's something I cover in great detail in my Fast Track to Your Dream Guy program. We work together to bring out the best of you, the calm, confident, high-quality woman that you already are. So check the link. I hope it's there. I can't see it. All right, so the next mistake. So there's 8 mistakes all up that I'm going to talk to you about. We're up to 8. Mistake number 7 we're up to now. Okay, so everything's going along fine. You're starting to put pressure on him about what his feelings are for you. I get it. Like, girls are so afraid of wasting their time on a guy. But if things are going well and you've got up to several months with him, all you can do is just stay patient. Sometimes when you ask him how you feel too soon, it can scare him off prematurely. So it's a huge mistake to ask him how he feels about you. He needs to work this out entirely on his own, and it's so much better this way. I mean, don't you want to be in a position where you're not having to ask him? Don't you want to have a man telling you that he's in love with you and he's compelled to continually try and pin you down to see you, and he's the one bringing up marriage and a future? I think that's what every girl wants, right? Because when it's us that are continually trying to push him along, hey, how do you feel about me? Or, gee, I'm feeling like you're pulling back a bit. What's going on? He feels that you're not so confident in himself, because men know one thing, and that is their behavior speaks volumes. So if his behavior hasn't been great for the first several months, well, that's something that you really need to look at. Do you want to keep seeing this guy? Rather than put pressure on him about how his feelings are for you, there are other smarter ways to handle this. So if you've been seeing him for several months, like I said, something's wrong if you're not feeling his intensity. He should be talking about the future on his own. He should be testing the waters by mentioning the word marriage or children. He'd be buying you romantic gifts occasionally. Now, this brings me to something. Some girls think that they should be getting flowers every week or something from a guy. Like, not every guy is the same. Some guys do want to give flowers constantly, but if your guy's doing everything else right, just because he's not buying you flowers every few weeks doesn't mean that he's not the right guy or he's falling out of love with you. Guys demonstrate it differently. And again, it is about the actions, but don't judge the actions of your guy by the actions of another guy. Really, it's about how his overall behavior is and whether you're feeling that he's on track he's continually trying to take the relationship to the next level is basically how it works. So he wants to show you without you prompting it from him. It always feels better that way. And we say that if you get to a year and you're really not sure, then that's the time to say, well, something like, we've been having a great time this past year, but I don't believe in dating forever. Do you see a future? Or something like that. And then just wait and hear what he's got to say. But not until a good, decent amount into the relationship. He needs a chance to work out how he feels for himself. So in my Fast Track program, we talk about how to achieve all of these things and never make these mistakes again. I've had ladies change the way they dress and do their hair, the way they speak to all men, all because they've decided for themselves. I can't force, and I don't want to force you into doing anything that you don't want to do. These are things that women decide to do of their own accord because they want to be what they want to attract. Some have left toxic work environments. They've started working on their health and fitness. They move to more pleasant living arrangements because they know that all of these things affect their energy that they're putting out there. So it's just the natural consequence of the improved self-esteem they have and the sense of empowerment that they're feeling within themselves. So I can't say enough how wonderful it is to watch these women transforming before my eyes. So my next program is starting in a few days. Don't miss out on your place. The numbers are limited so that you can get more individual attention from me. So check the link below for more information and to book your place. So we all know that you can't keep doing what you were doing before if you want a different result. Most of us have been with the wrong guys before, but there's nothing to achieve in only pointing the finger outside of yourself. Hello, Sarah. I just thought to myself, I wonder if there's been another comment, and there's Sarah. Hello, it's nice to see you, Sarah. So what I was saying was, we've got to try and get out of the habit of pointing the finger outside of ourselves. That's a very common thing that we do when we're younger because you really don't know any different. But as you get older and you have more experience in your life, you understand that you're a lot more in control of your destiny and the people you surround yourself with than what you give yourself credit for, I think, sometimes. So from here on in, it's all about, okay, that didn't work out. What part did I play in that? That is so much more empowering because you can't change the way a guy behaves. You can't make him be what you want to be, but you can change yourself. So, he may not have been the greatest guy in the world. I get it. But it's up to you to stop it happening again because these kinds of guys are going to approach you. They're around. You're going to walk into a venue one night and this guy that you want nothing to do with is going to approach you and give you some ridiculous line. It's not about having this invisible force field up that they're never going to approach you again. It's about knowing how to handle it, how to walk away with dignity, and also being able to discern very clearly whether this is a buyer beware sort of guy or someone that is probably worth giving the opportunity to, if he does ask for your number and go out on a date, and to go out on a date, you can feel confident that saying yes isn't going to hurt. So these are all the kinds of things that I teach you how to do. So it's about breaking old habits first and foremost. So even if you don't meet your dream guy straight away, your life is going to change because you're not getting in drama-filled relationships anymore. You're not getting into 3 or 4 year-long relationships with guys that don't want a future with you, that end, and all of that, the most precious years of your life have been wasted, I say. There's always something to learn if you learn from the mistake, but you don't want to keep doing that. So that's number one. And once you clear all that away, that time wasting, I call that the slow lane, you can actually get out in the fast lane and open up to meeting your dream guy. It's a huge change in behavior from you. It's not about changing him. It's about a total reinvention of the way you operate in life and around men. So getting it right from the beginning is fundamental to getting a great marriage too. We need to remember that guys are different to us. They're very different to us. This is why they drive us crazy. So while we're equal in terms of humanity, that does not mean we're the same. We can't treat girls like they're girls. We can't treat guys like they're girls. Is that what I said? We can't treat them like girls or like our girlfriends. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. All of these things are going to make you, these things that I teach make you irresistible to men. Otherwise, you constantly find yourself in friend zone or worse, in drama. We don't want drama. So here's my last mistake. And this is relevant to everybody, whether you're dating, engaged, married, it's forever. It's something that I'm mindful about every day. Because when you get kind of happy and things are going well in a relationship, it's easy to let down your guard and let these kinds of things slip. But this is it. This is the clincher. Ready? Never, ever If there's a something, they say never, but I'm saying never, never criticize or belittle your man, especially not in front of others. One of the greatest motivations of a man is to feel like he's your hero. This is what makes him a man. He wants to be your hero. He enjoys feeling that he can make you happy, that he's the greatest guy on earth in your eyes. Now, to me, when I really think about what that means, it's amazing to think that you eventually are married to a guy whose sole purpose in life is to make you happy. Not sole purpose, but you know what I mean. It's one of his greatest motivations every day. It's his motivation to get up and work hard for you, for the children. This is what motivates a man. Now, can you imagine then criticizing and belittling him? It's the biggest no-no. It's something, never, ever do this. I remember once a few months ago watching a woman, a friend, her husband. We were there with our husbands, and it was quite a big group of people. And I can't even remember now what the conversation was that led to her saying this, but I've never forgotten this because I was absolutely mortified. Knowing what I know now, I was mortified by this. I kind of tuned into the conversation when she was saying, yeah, you always have to be the hero, don't you? Always have to be the hero. And I don't know why she said it, but it was awful. And no one really knew where to look because everyone felt that it was out of line. And I could see the look on his face. It's not a look that you want to see on a man's face. And I couldn't help thinking to myself that this woman is probably also wondering why he seems to spend so much time fishing on weekends, not spending time with her and the children. And she complains about that too. So always speak highly of your man, always. So look, in terms of the biggest mistakes in marriage and relationships, engagement, that's it. There are many others. I mean, we could go on forever here, but we don't have forever. This is a live stream that has to end. So I'm going to go through the 8 mistakes just very quickly again, just so we're very clear on what it's a good idea not to do anymore. So the first one, initiating with a guy. Don't be the pursuer in the relationship. It's how you know if he's really into you. How do I know if he's into you? Because he's chasing me. That's how I know. If he's asking for a date, he's into you. If he's just texting you, hey babe, or hi sexy every day, that's not a guy who's really into you. We want dates. We want him asking you out and planning the dates. Mistake number 2, you're jumping into the relationship too fast. Take your time. Rome wasn't built in a day. What's the rush? Give him time to decide if this is where he wants to be. Go and live your life. Get your degree. Climb to the top of your profession. Don't make him the top priority of your life until you're married. Yes, when you're married, different story. Mistake number 3, don't have sex too soon. Try to wait at least 3 months. If he's still taking you out on dinner dates every week for 3 months without sex, he's into you. Mistake number 4, you're not going on real dates. No hanging out at his place on the sofa or turning up to his gigs. Or driving to his games. Let him pick you up and take you out for dinner. Courtship, the old-fashioned way. This is how to make a great relationship last a lifetime. Mistake number 5, don't tell him what to do. Let him lead so you can truly find out the kind of guy you're marrying him. Stop trying to force him into what you want. Let him be who he is. It's very, this stuff is very spiritual. It's all about getting into the state of allowing. We're totally allowing him to be who he is. It's absolutely very beautiful, this process. So let him plan everything and chase you. He will love the challenge and fall in love with you. Here's the clincher. He will fall in love with you like he's never felt before. Okay, we're up to mistake number 6. This is a recap if you've just joined us. Mistake number 6 was you're anxious and emotional with him. Remember, emotional intelligence is key here. Be the best version of you, and you will inspire that from him too. Okay, no one wants to be around a highly strung worrywart. Mistake number 7. You're putting pressure on him to tell you how he feels about you. See, I even have girls who know all this stuff and they still forget themselves, and they're compelled to say something like, oh, I feel like something's changed. I feel like you're moving away from me. You don't need to say that stuff. There's such a better way to progress that you get the best results. And everything's in flow. The relationship's beautiful. So when a guy's falling in love, you don't have to ask. He shows you. His actions are so much better than words. So guys can tell you anything to give you the confidence to keep seeing them or even to sleep with them. Many girls complain that their actions don't match up to their words. So dig deep for faith that he will show you how he feels. Don't worry so much about what he says. Take it with a grain of salt. Watch what he does instead. It's a much better outcome for you. So you see what I mean? This is all about moving out of intoxication, of infatuation, getting caught up in all of those wonderful endorphins that are running through our body, and enjoying those feelings, but being smart, thinking straight. That's going to ultimately stop you from being hurt again and open the way to an amazing guy in your life. And the final mistake was, as I said, never criticize or belittle your man at any time. Even from the very beginning, don't criticize. If he takes you to a place and the staff dropped a red wine all over your white top, worst nightmare. Don't criticize the restaurant because he takes that personally. He'll be mortified and you'll be able to see how he responds to that, but try to be very gracious. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. All right, so I hope I've helped you a little in today's video. Don't forget to click the link below so I can take you with me on the fast track to your dream guy. Registration closes very soon, so please don't miss your spot. I can't wait to get started, and I'll be offering the program again in October this year if you can't make it now. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you to all of you who tuned in for this. I appreciate you very much, and it's been a lot of fun, actually. So we'll have to do it again sometime. If you can click the like button, that would be great as well. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again very soon for more love advice with Lynda. Bye for now.